Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of CoinLogic TV, where we are looking logically at crypto assets. I am your host, The Logical Dude, your favorite van life living crypto investing digital nomad. I hope you are doing well today. It is a Friday. We made it through the week. It's November 19th. It's almost Thanksgiving in the United States, so this will be the last Friday update before Black Friday. So hopefully we won't have a Black Friday, or we'll have a, hopefully we'll have some good pumps for next Black Friday, whatever, hey, you can always hope. Because anything after this bloody week that we had would be awesome. It looks like we are finally getting some relief. We're finally getting some green back in the markets over the last 24 hours. Because, man, it has been a rough few days. Let me tell you what, looking at those portfolios. But that's okay, because our portfolios here at CoinLogic are pretty stabilized. A lot of liquidity pairing, a lot of liquidity mining going on paired against the dollar. So it stays pretty stable. And my investments have been awesome, especially Hive. Hive survived this really well. We had a dip, but came right back up to $1 pretty quick. Very, very happy about that. Cub took a little bit of a hit, but it's climbing its way back up the ranks just along with the rest of everything else. But man, yeah, had a big old dip down. Like Bitcoin went all the way down to $56,000, and we are finally bouncing back up. We're at 57,967 at the time of this recording. So up not even 1% over the last 24 hours, but we got a turnaround. It's looking good. We'll take a look at the charts in a minute. Binance Coin took a big old hit, but it has actually had a really nice bounce back up and a 9% bounce. We are at 583 on Binance Coin. Litecoin is back up to 218, 5.76% gains. Polygon is up to $1.61, up 7%. About to really start digging into some Polygon stuff, because we did get, as you saw on the XDAO video that we did, we got the Polygon DAO started. So I'm going to start putting some more. I'm going to actually move some money over from, I've got some money on XDAI that's just sitting there. I'm going to move that money over to Polygon and put it to work. And we are going to get that DAO started and try to see if we can get going with this contest, because there's a contest going on that I would like to win. So, yeah, because DAOs are awesome. DAOs are going to be the future of companies and just, everything. We're starting an investment club, so that's going to be a DAO-based investment club. I've got plans on how we're going to get this started. Probably going to start with a crowdfunding contract first, and the initial investors in the crowdfunding, which will help get all the structure that we need built, as well as the initial funds and everything going for the fund. So those guys will be given governance tokens for the initial thing, and then I'll also be splitting probably a bit of the liquidity tokens. I'm still trying to figure all that out, so be waiting for announcements. I got a roadmap that I'm going to be probably putting out within the next week or so, just once I get all that kind of stuff figured out. Really excited about getting this CoinLogic thing going here. What's really cool is I also purchased CoinLogic.finance. So I am actually going to be looking to move the site over to that domain and probably onto its own private server and not sharing with a couple other sites that I've got going. It's using some shared resources. So because hopefully, because I got a lot of functionality going on with the site. I'm going to be adding NFTs. I'm going to be adding this whole DAO thing, which a lot of that is actually on a different platform, on the XDAO platform. But wanting to add in some community functionality and some things like that. So wanting to grow this, into just a full-fledged platform for everybody. So going to be doing a little bit of rebranding, not much. A little bit of rebranding. Got the new URL that we're going to be integrating. Going to still have coin-logic.com. Probably going to use it as a forward address from here on, though. And start using coinlogic.finance. So that's going to be the new thing. So really excited. Purchased that last night. Anyway, sidetracked. But yeah, Polygon. That was where we stopped there, because that's what got me off on that tangent, because we got the Polygon XDAO thing started. So anyway, Stellar though, Stellar is chilling out around 35 cents, 36 cents. It had a nice pump back up to 8. It's a 8% rise. It dropped down to 33 cents. Cosmos is finally seeing some life. Man, Cosmos took a monster hit. It took a big old hit, and it is back up to 7%. Pancake Swap took a big nasty hit. It is back up to $16. Took a 9.75% rise up. Basic attention tokens back up over to $1.08. Had nearly 10% gains. Osmosis stayed, it dropped. It was at over $6 before the big drop, and then it has finally risen back up to over $5.50. So it is not quite a 5% rise up. But Hive, like I said, Hive had a nice rise back up. We are sitting at $1 right now with Hive. But yeah, it stayed fairly. We had actually a pump, and then it dumped back down. And then during the whole big drop down, it dropped down to like 93 cents. And yeah, we're doing okay. Hive's doing okay. Cub had a drop down. We were sitting up here nice and fancy at 69, close to 70 cents, and Cub took a dip down to 60 cents, but has since ran back up to 62, almost 63 cents. So you can see here with Bitcoin, we had this big dip down to around $56,000. It has pumped back up to around 58, but we have dropped since, and we are sitting steadily, just above 58, or just below 58,000, around the 57.9 range, something like that, 57.7, 57.9. Depends on what exchange you're looking at too. So Ethereum took a big old dump down here too, went down to right around $4,000, actually below 4,000, and we are now currently sitting at 42.44. So it has had a nice little rise back up as well. The top 10 gainers of the top 100 over the last 24 hours, though, has been Engine Coin, 19.47%, Elrond, Loopring, Phantom, Thorchain, Decentraland's been up really nice. Airweave is up, SafeMoon is up, Helium and Shiba Inu, 12, 13, 14%, going on up into like Loopring and Elrond having 18% rises, and Engine was up 19.47%. So it's been a pretty good day. The ones that held strong during this big dip were like Sandbox and things like that, which is actually the biggest loser of the top 100 today at a 2.63% drop. But yeah, Sandbox had a really big run up along with Decentraland. So those have actually been holding really steady. The metaverse stuff is really starting to take hold and starting to run. So a lot of stuff coming along with metaverse stuff. I'm starting to do a little bit of a dig in, a deep dive on platforms like Deluxe, which is on the Hive blockchain, and I'm looking at Block, which is on Polygon too. So the Fear and Greed Index is now sitting at a 34. I mean, it dropped hard over the last week. So we went from extreme greed down to neutral and down to fear within like 3 days. So yeah, you can definitely tell it's been a crazy run over the last week. Bitcoin dominance is down to 42.66%. Took a major hit because these altcoins started to run. I'm telling you, it's these metaverse and the NFT projects and things like that are doing actually really well. And I think that we're just looking at a different phase in the crypto life cycle kind of thing. So I'm not sure if the same traditional market runs are going to be at play. I'm just taking data as we get it, and just making my own assumptions. That's all I can do. Because, this is never financial advice, just a dude living in a van talking to you over the internet about cryptocurrencies, of which I am now making my full-time living doing. Really awesome between DeFi and the Hive stuff. So it's really cool. I like it. So I'm trying to pump up the YouTube stuff. I'm just trying to make sure I'm posting out to YouTube, getting out to the masses there, telling them about the awesome things that we do have going on the Hive blockchain, which is like the metaverse stuff. And then we've got, Splinterlands. We've got ecommerce going on Hive. We've got all kind of great stuff. We've even got a layer 1 decentralized stablecoin, which we're going to be talking about here in just a minute. But first, we're going to pop right on in to looking at these charts I want to take a quick look here at Bitcoin. We are looking at the daily time frame, and you can see that we had our nice little run up here. We had a little peak, drop down, had a higher peak, new all-time high, and then it just had a really hard correction down. So some people started screaming double top. I don't think it's a bearish double top until we have a higher high and then a lower high. This had a higher high and then another higher high, and then it dropped down. Now, we dropped down a little, definitely lower than this low right here, but we're still in this range, right? So when you think about it, and I think I told you in another video, I had a recent conversation with this old conservative white economist is what he called himself. Really super cool guy. Talked to me, we were talking about, trading versus, investments and cash flow and stuff like that. And he definitely made me feel good that I'm on the right path. He's like, one big thing with trading too is that you never have exact numbers. You're looking at ranges, and then when people put so much focus in on these exact numbers and these exact targets and that kind of thing, these predictions, it's just, most of them are bullcrap. Most of these predictions are bullcrap. They don't know where this thing's going. They just only think they know. So for me, I take in the data as it comes. And that's why I watch only the assets that I really watch and that I pay attention to, because the ones that are making me cash flow are the ones that are important to me. I'm not chasing all these flashy little meme coins and all that kind of stuff. I'm really just laser focused on the projects that are making me money right now. And doing that on more of a passive basis, because trading can be a nightmare sometimes. I mean, you look at the last couple of days, people getting, if you're leverage trading, you're absolutely getting wrecked unless you called this drop and, you were able to catch that short. But man, that was a sharp drop, so you would have had to have been really staring at charts and waiting for that to hit, to short that and be able to, hey, if you're shorting this right now, you're making money. Good for you. But I'm just, I'd rather be taking either side of the trade, both sides of the trade, and then making yield money on top of that. That's how I plan on getting through any bear markets, because this has totally changed the game. Automatic market making has given regular people a way to do what the big boys do. So if you look at the New York Stock Exchange or, the CME and stuff like that, you've got market makers. So companies will have market makers that will basically be taking, sides of the trade, those are the ones that are coming in, pushing the big plays, making these prices move and that kind of thing. Well, in decentralized finance, using these decentralized exchanges, or what's called DEXs, for those of you who are in the know in crypto, you know what that is. But, to give a little explanation for the people that aren't so much in the know. Decentralized exchanges, you can be the market maker with even just a little amount of money. So you just put in equal amounts to whatever trading pair that you're wanting to invest in, and then just let it do its thing, So there is the whole thing about impermanent loss, where if say you were in one coin, versus another coin. So, all right, for me, most of mine are all paired against the dollar. So that's what most of my liquidity is provided to, or dollar-based pairs. It just keeps some, a lower risk, a little bit better stability in the markets. Even though I'm in some risky coins, I'm making some high APR on it, but it's paired against the dollar. So it's a little stable. Sorry, I got a little dry throat. I'm trying not to edit this stuff. I'm trying to just straight run, so apologies on that. But anyway, so the thing about impermanent losses is that if one of your coins goes up, say 4x or something like that, just for easy numbers, if your coin goes up 4x, if you are in a liquidity pool, so if you're providing liquidity in an automatic market making smart contract, your portfolio may only go up 2x because you're taking both sides of the trade kind of thing. So it'll be different than if you were just holding the assets together. But here's the thing that you got to think about. Are you going to catch these bottoms and catch these tops to make that 4x? Most likely not. Most traders are not equipped enough. Sorry, you're not. Most people don't call tops and bottoms all the time. Even the best traders don't do it. Even your big money traders are going to be like, you ain't going to catch those tops and bottoms all the time. And you're not. Your money's made in the middle, right? So you're not going to catch, this guy and this guy. If you are dead on those tops and bottoms and you're making that money, then one, you have no life. This is your life. Me, I like to go outside. I like to do things. I like to sleep. I'm getting old. I'm almost 40. Sleep's important. I've gone a large amount of my life without sleep. I'm becoming very aware of how important sleep is these days. So yeah, I like to sleep. I like to not stress about my portfolio and that kind of thing. Leverage trading to me was just like going out to a casino and gambling. That's the way I look at leverage trading. And these days, I don't even leverage trade anymore. There's not any platforms that I want to deal with, KYC and all that kind of stuff. I've got enough KYC platforms. I'm good. And I don't have to leverage trade anymore. I would rather just put my money in these automatic market making contracts, earn daily yields. It's beautiful. I can harvest at any time in most cases. The Cosmos and the Osmosis ecosystem, I harvest once a day. They pay out like once a day kind of thing. Then all my stuff that I've got going on Hive, all of my DeFi ecosystem there, my NFT earnings, because I've got NFTs that are working and staking on Hive. It's a beautiful thing. Play to earn, play to earn games. You've got D-City, which is a game that you just buy NFTs and basically build up your little city, and you got to balance things. You got to balance your population for your income, and there's different ways that you can make income. Like you can have different cards that pay out in different tokens, and so you just got to balance it up. But it's it's a game that can become a business, and it does pay out money every day kind of thing. So it's really cool. That's the kind of stuff that I'd rather be into. I would rather acquire and put money to work than just sit there and stare at a chart. But I do like to know where the markets are going. I do know that you guys like to know how to trade. And I like, and I will, at least show you the knowledge that I know. Because I actually love to look at charts and I love to follow this kind of stuff. But I may not necessarily be trading it myself. Sometimes I will catch trades when it's just super juicy. I will catch a trade, throw some stuff in, and I usually will share that with you guys. So if you're interested in the trades that I actually do take, make sure to give me a like, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff, and follow me on. Come join the Hive blockchain. Give me a follow there. Come watch me there. YouTube, follow, like, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. So yeah. If you would like to know more about the trades that I actually do make, because the trades that I do make, I try to make them count. I'm not just in it to make a few bucks and pop out, because then you got fees that you got exchange fees you got to deal with. Then, that's all taxable events and that kind of stuff that you got to deal with. So I don't like dealing with that. So that's what Bitcoin's looking at. I think we're doing okay, guys. We're finding support around this in this zone here. So like I said, it's not specific price targets that we're looking at. It's actual zones, that I'm looking at. And right now, this is a sweet time to buy some crypto, in my personal opinion. Again, not financial advice. If I had some money on the side, which, I'm pretty good with where I'm at right now, but this would be a good spot. I would wait for this to curve around and print a green dot on the daily. I think it has printed. Yeah. So we printed the big green dot here on the 4 hour here because we did go oversold on the 4 hour twice. So you see where it bottomed out the first time. We went oversold, popped back up, and then came back down again because we just didn't have the momentum. We had some momentum come up, but it was more sell momentum. This volume. But the momentum tried to pump back up, but it was like, nah, push back down. Went oversold again. Because here on the market cipher indicator, you've got This top line here is the RSI. So it's purple when it's in the neutral zone, when it's between 30 and 60. When it's above 60, it turns red. It's telling you the markets are heated up. And when it's below 30, that's when it's telling you that the markets are oversold. That's like green, like, hey, like, look for buying opportunities, okay? So I don't buy the first dip. A lot of times I don't buy the second dip. What I am waiting on is for a higher low on this momentum wave here. So I'm looking for a possible another sell into another, and then curve around again into another green dot. So if you look at this, we've got the short and then the big one. I want to see this happen on the other side over here. So I want to see us come down and then print another green dot, but at a higher low, and then move up that way. That would give us an anchor wave and then a trigger wave. All right. So let's see if we can find this happen in the past here. So here, yeah, you got your lower wave here, came back up, came down, trigger waves, boom, popped up here. So we had some momentum run up here. You can see like where it happened here. Anchor wave, trigger wave, run up. Happen here. Anchor wave, trigger wave, run up. So that would have been a run up here. So you can see how that works. Let's go pop down to the 1 hour real quick. You can see we're actually printing a sell dot on the 1 hour. So that's where I think that we're going to end up coming back down and maybe touching this 54 level before we lift off again. So this may be working our way to come into that second hump that I was just talking about. On the daily time frame, that would actually give that hour sell signal would give the momentum enough time to drop down and actually start to curve around and create another uptrend. So give us that floor that we're looking for. That's kind of what I'm looking at right now. I'm going to tell you, during all this, Hive stayed pretty strong. We actually had a really big pump up on Hive, went all the way up to $1.35. And if you were able to catch that and possibly do some conversions into HBD using the conversion mechanism that we're going to be talking about in just a minute, then yeah, that you would have been scoring up a little bit here. But yeah, Hive has stayed pretty steady, and we are on a major uptrend here. I mean, take a look at this uptrend that we're on, guys. I mean, we're respecting this trend, and we are moving up. I mean, we've got so much going on here on Hive that, we have nothing to go but up, guys. Nothing to go but up. And I'm going to have a special announcement next week. Hopefully, I may be getting scheduled for a pretty decent-sized YouTube channel to go and talk about Hive, talk about Metaverse, talk about the play-to-earn games, the things that we've got going on. So, not sure yet. Don't want to say too much more than that. And so, yeah, really excited. Talking to them on Monday about getting scheduled up. So, yeah, maybe getting Hive out on some of the bigger channels. So, at least, gets the opportunity to get your boy out there talking about Hive. Being an ambassador, maybe I can, get on some other channels after that, so we'll see what goes. Hopefully I can do a cool interview. I got the personality to run with it. We can roll with this. We can roll with it. So the Hive HBD conversion I was talking about is a very important mechanism. So HBD is our Hive Backed Dollar. And that's what we're going to talk about now. I'm going to wrap it up with this article from our boy Taskmaster 4450, the top Hive awarded author on the blockchain. This guy is a flipping machine. I please highly suggest go follow him. He is an amazing author, has great insights about the economy, about the future of the blockchain. Talks about Metaverse. He's into all kind of stuff. Does the Cryptomaniacs podcast with John Olson from the CTP group. So yeah, go give Taskmaster a follow if you're not already. Yeah, and this is the kind of stuff we've got going on Hive. We've got some really great information. This is leofinance.io, which is our finance and investment front end. This is the team that runs Cub Finance, which is my number one DeFi platform. You saw the Cub token that was in the CoinLogic index there. Leo Finance is the team that brought that to you. So leofinance.io also gives you a really great way to get involved with Hive, really quick and easy using your Twitter account. You can kind of get your account started just by signing in with Twitter, MetaMask, and then you've got your other Hive ways. So come check that out. But anyway, moving on to this article, the Hive Backed Dollar, taking things to the next level. All right, so this is kind of a long article. I'm going to be really kind of going through some of the main points. I will put the link in the description below, and you can come and peruse this article yourself on your own time. So getting in the main gist of it. So stable coins are getting a lot of attention as of late. It appears that in the United States, those that are backed by companies, labs, will be regulated like banks. So thus, companies such as Circle are facing a host of regulations that it will have to adhere to. One of the advantages to the Hive Backed Dollar is that it is outside of this. The token is backed by code on the blockchain with no single entity in control. It is an algorithmically driven stablecoin that is backed by $1 worth of Hive. Please note that $1 is a unit of measure and not the backing asset. So, Hive Backed Dollar is backed by Hive, not USD, which gives it some fluctuation. So that's why I like to call it a stable-ish coin. So in this article, it's going to talk about a few major points to discuss. You've got the Hive Backed Dollar to Hive relationship. You've got the interest paid haircut, the lack of liquidity peg that is currently causing a bit of an issue, and we're going to talk about some solutions that can come up with that. So let's talk about the HBD to Hive relationship first. So Hive and HBD are linked. So this is a point that takes a bit of investigation to see. So while most overlooked HBD, it could play a vital role in the evolution of the Hive ecosystem. So what is it? It's essentially a debt-based instrument that is meant to operate as a stablecoin. So unlike Hive, which can have wide fluctuations in price, HBD is meant to stay pegged near $1 worth of Hive. So this is preferred for commerce, since merchants will receive payment mechanisms sans the volatility associated with Hive. We accept HBD here on the Hivelist store. So the Hivelist is my e-commerce platform on Hive. On the e-commerce store there, we do accept Hive Backed Dollars. On the WeCash store, we accept Hive Backed Dollars. So yeah, it's definitely my preferred method of payment, because I exchange everything. So if you send me, any of the Hive Engine tokens, or even Hive for that matter, it gets converted into Hive Backed Dollars. Put it into the savings wallet to earn 10%. While I'm not using it, then I can take it out and pay bills with it and that kind of thing for the business. So Hive Backed Dollars is an essential part of Hivelist and what we're doing here. So yes, it's very important. So let's talk about so Hive, though. Let me get into this real quick. Hive is the governance token. So this is one of its main utilities. At the same time, we also have the proof of brain mechanism that is determined by the amount of Hive power one has. So Hive Backed Dollar, on the other hand, is designed to facilitate commercial transactions. Merchants require stability, and HBD aims to deliver that. Where we see the relationship enter the picture is in the conversion mechanism. And this is what I use on a daily basis. I get 1 conversion per day, and I got 4 conversions running at a time all the time. It's a 3.5-day conversion process. So, 3 or 3.5 days. So, each token can be converted. Back to this article, by the way. Each token can be converted to the other at any time. Thus, when Hive is converted into HBD, more HBD is printed. So this will expand the amount of HBD that can be used for commercial purposes. It also could have an impact on the price of Hive. So the more that is converted and housed into HBD, there's less Hive on the market. Of course, this can go both ways, which could unleash a great deal of Hive being created. For that reason, it is vital to build out use cases giving people incentive to keep the value and utility in HBD. So some of that comes into the savings. Other parts of that goes into keeping it and using it for commercial purposes. Like I'm paying all my bills right now in it. So I convert Hive into HBD. I basically funnel all my DeFi and everything into Hive. All my rewards go into Hive, and I've built myself up like a little pool in my Hive wallet. And what I do is I convert a certain amount, basically the amount that I need for the day in HBD. Like, so the amount of dollars that I need either, for, dispersing for bills or for personal uses, for gas, food, whatever it is that I need. I convert what I need into HBD. And then what's cool about the conversion into HBD is that you'll get a certain amount of HBD that's backed. And it's about a little under half of what you'll get of the amount of like Hive that you converted, because what it is the Hive is actually backing that HBD. Well, after 3 days, you get that Hive that's backing it returns to your wallet. So it's really cool. So you get like a little over half of the Hive back that you convert. So like I've been doing 200 Hive as a conversion, and then I'll usually get like 100 to 105 Hive. It depends on the conversion rates during that 3-day period of time. I'll get about 100 to 105 Hive back. Sometimes it's been about 110 Hive. So that's pretty cool. So you get half of your Hive back. So if you can figure out how to cover the rest of it, like I'm using DeFi to feed into that pool, and I'm using my Hive Engine token rewards and stuff to feed into that pool as well, you can keep a nice steady flow of income coming in. I've been doing it now for about a month, and it's been great. I've been paying all my bills with it. It's just awesome. So anyway, so yeah. The rest of it I keep in the savings, like for my big bills at the end of the month kind of thing. I put all that in the savings and let it earn 10% while it's just hanging out. Sorry, I got a leaf blower that's going around me here. So if that shows up in your audio there, my apologies. I'm at a public park. I'm a nomad. It is what it is. They've got really good internet here, so I got to deal with some noise here and there. All right, so let's talk about the interest of the paid haircut, right? So he's got a link for another article from another author here on Leo Finance that you can come and check out. What the haircut basically is actually, let's just, before we get into that, I'm just going to follow this article here. Before we get into that, we have to identify the first line that we have to navigate. So it's a fine line that we have to navigate. The goal of a stable coin is for it to be used. In other words, we want commercial transactions taking place in HBD. This is the primary function to exchange value. Of course, savings is also part of the equation. So in the world of DeFi, having an aggressive rate, especially on a stable coin, can bring in a great deal of interest. All right, so the rate paid at the core level must be high enough to garner the attention and motivation for people to hold the token. So at the same time, it cannot be so high that people focus solely upon that and never want to part with their HBD. So, yeah, this is a fine balance. It's a fine line that we got to play with that. So this is one of the problems in cryptocurrency. Because of the returns people get from hodling, they refuse to utilize them for payments, hence the explosion of stablecoins. So that's what's basically led to Bitcoin becoming digital gold versus a peer-to-peer payment cash system that it was supposed to be in the beginning. So one of the features of the interest being paid on HBD is it generates more HBD. Since we are dealing with a lack of liquidity, this is helpful. So raising the interest rate would help facilitate this at a faster rate. Nonetheless, we need to be careful not to set it too high and sabotage the future use as a payment mechanism. So as we know, it is possible to lower it, that it might not be the best course of action to take from an optics perspective. So here's where we start talking about the haircut rule. So for those who are not familiar with this, the blockchain will stop producing Hive Backed Dollars when the ratio of the value gets to 10% of that of Hive, okay? So what this means is that the 50-50 payout that you get on your post rewards, so 50% of that goes into your Hive Power, which is your staked Hive into the network, creates your resource credits for you to use the network. And then you get 50% in Hive Backed Dollars. Okay. Well, if we reach this 10%, so if Hive Backed Dollars gets to be the 10% of the value of Hive, as far as like, I guess, the amount that are out there, then it's going to stop producing HBD and it's going to start paying you out that 50% liquid in Hive. Okay. So you would still get the 50% Hive power, but then the rest of it would go into Hive itself. So that's basically the haircut. So it stops at 10%. So this continues until the rate drops below that of the threshold. So this point was brought up in a comment section from the link that was in from the post that was linked above here. So you can come and check that out. We'll put the link for this article in the description below, and you can come and read that and get to that other link from there. So we do have some discussion, though, on the blockchain going on of raising this level to 20 or even 30%. So what that means is that a lot more HBD can be in existence. So this is what is required if we are to have it operate as a true stablecoin. It totally makes sense. So it cannot legitimately operate if there was only 25 million in existence, with a significant portion being locked up in the developer Hive fund, which is what basically pays for developers and pays for, you know, proposals and things like that that get voted on. So really, you know, to be an effective stablecoin, the peg needs to be maintained. Since the introduction of the Hive Backed Dollar stabilizer, we see a marked improvement. So the wide swings on the token appear to be kind of be a thing of the past. Well, kind of. You know, unfortunately, the range is still too wide. So over the past couple of months, we have been between 90 cents and $1 on the downside and $1 to $1.20 on the upside. I've actually seen it at like $1.30 something at one point. So for the most part, we held between 93 and 106. So that range is tighter, but not yet tight enough, you know, because, yeah, I mean, when you are saving up to pay bills and stuff, and when you cash out, and all of a sudden when you get ready to cash out and you have to pay bills, and Hive Backed Dollar is at like 93, 94 cents, you're taking a bit of a haircut there. So you got to take all that into account if you're trying to use it for the, you know, for those kind of reasons. That's why we need a bit of a tighter peg. One of the ways to resolve this is with liquidity. So when any asset is scarce, it tends to have a wide gap on the bid and ask price. So this creates more volatility than is desired. So at the same time, people avoid arbitraging the situation due to the fact that the liquidity eats into their potential gains. That is what is truly needed to help keep the peg. So in other words, HBD stabilizer needs more help from the market. This shows up in the fact that one exchange can basically drive the price of HBD. Since few exchanges carry the token, it can be difficult to acquire. Of course, without many in print, it's hard to populate a ton of exchanges as it is. So it becomes really a chicken and the egg scenario. So here are some proposed steps. So some of the proposed steps are to raise the haircut level to at least 20%. 30 would be better, according to Taskmaster. I kind of agree with that, actually. So after that, urge the witnesses to increase the interest rate to at least 15, if not 20%. That does one, and I actually had some conversations with a couple of people about this at HiveFest, because they were concerned that at the actual rate of inflation, even 10% is not even really keeping up. So that wouldn't be a bad incentive to raise that to 15, if not 20%, which would actually be more than really any other protocol or centralized company is offering on a stablecoin. And this is at protocol level, decentralization at its finest. Okay, so applications on Hive should start to integrate HBD as a payment option. Check on Hivelist and on the WeCash store. Boom. While HBD is scarce on exchanges, Hive has a much better reach. So thus, people can focus on buying Hive, bringing it on chain, and using the internal exchange to turn it into HBD. There is no wait or conversion required. So start promoting HBD as a part of the outside social media engagement. Relate how there is low risk, 10% return on core layer, blockchain-based token. I'm telling you, Hive has got DeFi built into Layer 1 protocol with this, and also with, Hive powered delegation and that kind of thing, because you can earn on that as well. We got all kind of cool stuff going on here, guys. Hive is great. That's why I talk about it so much and focus on it. All right, so you can go on to continue on and finish reading the closing remarks there from Taskmaster, but that's why HBD is important to our little ecosystem, and why it is actually in the future going to be looked at as one of the top stable coins in the industry, because it is fully decentralized and it runs on protocol level. And yeah, it's just awesome that way. Now, yeah, it is, like I said, stable-ish, and we need to, we need to work on that. But here's some steps that we can do to fix that. So there you go. But anyway, guys, this video's gone a little long, but this was very valuable information, and wanted to share this with you guys and get that out there. Again, Taskmaster is going to be added as a beneficiary to this post. Thank you for providing this awesome work, man. Always dig it. Always dig it. So go give him a follow on Leo Finance. Give CoinLogic.online a follow while you're there as well. Come follow us on YouTube, 3speak.tv. We're there. Come and check us out. Go follow us on Twitter at CoinLogicOnline without the dot. So you're going to be getting updates and stuff there as well. You guys have a great rest of your day. Be careful in these volatile markets. Don't get wrecked. Be cool. Be real. Always abide. Peace out, guys. Have a great weekend.